Yo, 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 what's up, Mr. White?
Hey, what's up, Worksheet? This is dimensional analysis. We're going to look at real-world problems that often involve units of measure, and performing operations with these units is called dimensional analysis, or we can actually call it unit conversion. So we're going to convert from one unit to another unit. The setup of converting units is to write equivalences, and then we always include a unit at the end. Here are some examples of unit equivalents that you may have heard or probably have dealt with many times. For instance, 1 foot. What is 1 foot equal to? Well, you should know that it is 12 inches. Okay. We know that 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. 1 ton will be known as 2,000 pounds. If we go to 1 minute, we know that that is 60 seconds. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. That's just meters. And we know that 12 eggs is 1 dozen eggs. So converting units. To perform the conversion from one unit to another unit, you write the equivalence as a ratio. And since each of the equivalents is equal, the ratio is equal to 1. For example, if we take the unit of 1 foot, so if we have 1 foot, what we know is that is equal to 12 inches. So ratio-wise, what we can say is 1 foot over 12 inches times, so if we have 1 foot, we can convert it so it cancels. We could say 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. What you'll know is foot cancels with foot, inches cancels with inches, and we are left with 1. Notice that you can write your equivalence as 2 different ratios that are, equal. Okay, the purpose when converting is to cancel out the unwanted units. So we got to figure out where are we starting, where do we want to finish, and cancel out the ones that we usually start with so that we can get the ones that we want to finish with. So example, converting the following. We're going to say how many seconds in 5 weeks. Well, we're going to start with 5 weeks. So we have 5 weeks. Helps me to kind of write it this way, makes it a little easier. Since we have weeks on top, we're going to have to cancel with weeks on bottom. So we have to figure out, well, where do we go? We're going to go from weeks to seconds. So let's think weeks to days to hours to minutes to seconds. Okay. So we know that in 1 week there are 7 days. Draw a little line, connect it. We know that whatever's on top has to go on bottom if we can cancel. So we have 1 day, which is actually go to hours. So we know there's 24 hours. Now we have to put 1 hour. We'll look at minutes. We know that there's 60 minutes in an hour. And then to finish up, we know that there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. What you're going to notice by setting this up is weeks will cancel with weeks, days will cancel with days, hours will cancel with hours, minutes will cancel with minutes, and we're left with what we want as seconds. So if we multiply 5 times 7 times 24, 5 times 7 times 24 times 60 times 60, you get a big number, and that is equivalent to 3,024,000 seconds. Number 2, how many inches in 1 mile? So we're going to start with 1 mile. And we're going to say, okay, well, we need to go from inches to, hopefully you know, feet. And there is a conversion for feet to miles. So if we go in 1 mile, actually, we're going to go backwards this way, because we're starting with 1 mile. So in 1 mile, there should be, or there is, 5,280 feet. In 1 foot, there are 12 inches. So what we'll see is miles cancel with miles, feet cancel with feet, and we're left with inches. So 1 times 5,280 times 12 should give you a grand total of 63,360 inches. Number 3, we're going to convert 65 miles per hour to feet per hour. So notice a little bit different than 1 and 2 is now we have a per or 2 units of rate, and we have to transfer to a new feet per hour. So if we take and we write, we have 65 miles per 1 hour. What I like to do is I always try and eliminate the top one first and then go back and eliminate the bottom one, but feel free to do whatever you choose. So I know the conversion. I'm going to go, okay, let's go from miles. So in 1 mile, I know that there is 5,280 feet, which gets me feet. Miles cancels with miles, and I'm just going to circle feet because I'm done. Now I have hours on the bottom, so that means that the hour has to go on the bottom. Well, really, we have hours already on bottom, and that's what we want, so I don't need to do the conversion. We are actually through. I'm just going to take 65 times 5,280, and that's going to give you a grand total of 343,200 feet per hour. Number 4, if we're going to convert 70 miles per hour, and this time we want to go feet per second, so we're actually changing both. Again, I want to go 1 mile is 5,280 feet. I'm stuck on feet is what I want, so now I got to change the hour. I know that in 1 hour there is 60 minutes. Still not through. Hours cancels, but I'm left with minutes, and I need to get the seconds. So in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. What you'll notice is feet on top, seconds on bottom. So we're going to have 70 times 5,280 divided by 60 times 60, which gives you 102.7 rounded feet per second. Moving on to the worksheet, we're going to write equivalences. For example, 12 eggs, which is equal to 1 dozen eggs. Therefore, if we take 12 eggs over 1 dozen eggs, or if we flip it and say that 1 dozen eggs is equivalent to 12 eggs. So we have 3 different ratios. The first one, A, we could say that 1 mile is equal to 1,760 yards, but we also know that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. Therefore, we can write 1 mile is equivalent to 1,760 yards. We also know that 1,760 yards is equal to 1 mile. Therefore, we can say that also 5,280 feet, which is equivalent to the mile, here. Quarts, we have 1 quart is equal to 2 pints, which is equal to 4 cups. Therefore, if I said 1 quart, we'll know that that is equal to 2 pints. Or we can flip it and say 2 pints is equivalent to 1 quart. Or throw in there and say, okay, 4 cups is equal to 2 pints. And the last one, C, we can say that 1 centimeter cubed of water is equivalent to 1 millimeter of water, which is equivalent to 1 gram of water. Therefore, if I put 1 cubic centimeter is equivalent to 1 milliliter, 1 milliliter is equivalent to 1 centimeter cubed, or we can say that 1 gram is equivalent to 1 milliliter cubed. Well, that's going to end our session for today. Please feel free to continue and check back with me if you have any questions. And always remember, do your best, forget the rest. Bye for now.